Hey, 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 it's Dr. Katrina Esau of Whole Wives Healing Openly, leaving him exalted. And I just wanted to pop on real quick just to talk a little bit about the masquerade of forgiveness. In case you haven't met me yet, again, I'm Dr. Katrina Esau, and I help wives that have encountered infidelity. I help them to overcome it. I help them to heal. I help them to recognize and realize their strengths and who they are and to become the best person that they can be as an individual. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you getting healed. It's all about you being the better woman. It's all about you showing up and showing out and walking in your purpose. And so that's what I am here to do, to coach you and help you to do that. So, getting back on topic, the masquerade of forgiveness. Over the past week, I've talked to quite a few wives and just listening a lot of times. And the first thing that comes out is, oh, I forgave him. I've already forgiven him. And it's so easily to say that. I think sometimes it's cliche because we know it's the right thing to do. And, we hear, forgive, never forget, all those types of things. And so we think we're, in that place where we forgave and we're moving on, we're ready to heal, we're ready to do our work. But a lot of times your actions and your words will tell you something differently. So, for example, if you're speaking negatively about men toward men, even to your own spouse, if you have a negative conversation where, oh, men ain't nothing and they all cheat and, they'll never do this and this, that, and the third, chances are you probably haven't forgiven. So just start, listen to yourself, check your language, what are you saying? What are you communicating? Do you find yourself getting easily agitated, when their name comes up or when you hear a certain song, or if you remember, as we call it, D-Day, how are you feeling about that? Are you agitated? Are you bitter? Do you go straight to anger? These are all signs and indications that you probably haven't truly forgiven yet. And then, like, what are some of your behaviors toward others? Like when you are with your friends and there's a conversation about the boyfriend or the husband or, men in general, do you find yourself going toward the negative side? Do you find yourself always having negative commentary? So just be aware of what you're saying and doing versus what you've actually confessed. So if you've confessed, I have forgiven my husband, then your language and your actions should change to line up with that. Do you start feeling disgusted? Like, do you have moments where you just straight out feel disgusted? I can't stand him. I don't like him right now. Again, another indication that there's probably some unresolved issue there in terms of forgiveness. And so you have to be aware of all these different things because you'll go, through life, you'll go out, time will lapse and you're thinking, well, I did forgive. But just because you still remember and you have a negative association with it, you may term it as I'll never forget what he did to me. That's not real forgiveness. And so you want to get to a place to where you have truly forgiven. And what that means is that there's no longer a negative association. There's no longer a negative response attached to the memory. So it's nothing wrong with remembering or memorizing what has happened or what someone has done to you. But if you respond and react in a negative manner every time it comes up, you have some work to do. You have some healing to do. And don't be fooled. Don't buy into, well, it's normal for you to, to never forget it. It's true that you'll have those memories. But again, how are you responding to them? So don't get caught up in what we've always been told, what we've always been taught. You want to get to a place to where you are walking in true forgiveness, where you have forgiven your husband for what he's done to you, where you are in a place to where you're healing. You know what your barriers are, your triggers, and you are walking this thing called life out because truth is we all have done something, where we need somebody to forgive us. And I want to receive forgiveness where you're no longer holding it over my head. You're no longer throwing it up in my face. You're no longer getting angry at me when something similar comes up. I want to receive true forgiveness. I want to receive the forgiveness that is spoken about in the word, where you never remember it. And, it's not, as he says, as God says, not for your sake, Do I put it in the sea of forgetfulness, but for my own sake? Like, why do you want to torment yourself with the thoughts and just the things that come with unforgiveness? So I just wanted to pop on here real quick and just to encourage you all to be aware. Don't walk around, with a mask of forgiveness on and you truly haven't done your work to forgive. And as I've shared on many other occasions, forgiveness is a process. I can say I forgive you today, but then I have to do the work to truly forgive you so that I'm not throwing it up in your face, so that I'm not keeping account of what you did to me, so that I'm not getting bitter and angry at every time that I hear something or I have the memory. I'm not disgusted by your very presence. I want to walk in true forgiveness. And so that's what I'm here to help you do today is to walk in forgiveness. It's time. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to take off the mask. It's time for your actions and your words to line up, to get in alignment. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I pray that you like and share. And if you haven't already subscribed, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. There'll be more content that comes around healing and forgiveness. That's what I'm all about. I walked through my journey 17 years ago. And so I want to help somebody else walk through theirs. I want to help you get healed. I want to help you walk in your power and know that you can have life and life more abundantly. You don't have to exist. You don't have to tolerate. You don't have to settle. You don't have to lay down your values. You can have it all in Jesus' name. So thank you again. This is Dr. Katrina Esau. Have an awesome day. And remember, it is time to truly forgive. You can walk in it. Yes, you can.